Allegory, a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. Symbol, the actions of a character, word, or event that have a deeper meaning in the context of the story. Motif, a distinctive feature or dominant idea in an artistic or literary composition.
The following are examples of symbolism in Great Expectations. Saddest house shows connection to upper-class society. Rising mists represent the mystery and the unknown. Pip sees things more clearly when the mist rises, and bad situations usually happen when he is in the mist. Stopped clocks in Saddest house represent refusal to change. Drummel shows that there is no correlation between social standing and intelligence or morals. Joe symbolizes good and caring in a world surrounded by evil and deceit. The light represents goodness and the dark represents evil. Saddest house gardens suggest that innocence and love can no longer thrive. One major motive in the plotline of Great Expectations is imprisonment. Miss Havisham, despite having all the riches, is trapped in her shame and anger of being jilted on her wedding day. Joe is trapped in an abusive marriage with Mrs. Joe. Pip is imprisoned in many ways as well. He remains a common boy hoping to become a gentleman. Another motive is abuse, mentally and physically. Pip is tortured by multiple people. The thought of Estella mentally tortures him throughout his life, and Mrs. Joe physically tortures him as a young boy. There is also one major allegory in Great Expectations. In the story, it is revealed that although reality seems to consist of various moving parts occurring in different places independent of one another, these events and parts actually are all linked in an unbroken chain. For example, in the beginning, Pip and Magwitch's world seemed independent of Pip and Havisham's world, but it is revealed to the reader in the end that all characters end up interconnected somehow.
Miss Havisham was the only child of her family and daughter of a rich country brewer. Her father later got remarried and had another child. Miss Havisham got emotionally neglected from her parents. Later on in her life, she was jilted by the love of her life at her wedding altar. This caused her to have a hatred against all men. She then pursued her daughter to break the hearts of all young men. She is essentially a cold woman unable to release her age and old grudge. Dickens uses Miss Havisham as a symbol for challenge to Pip. She is used as the missing puzzle piece and puts together the whole story.
These are some examples of what Miss Havisham could look like. The top right photo shows Pip walking her, and the bottom left shows her begging Pip for forgiveness. Another very realistic portrayal of Miss Havisham as follows. The main thing to know about the archetypal lens is that it represents the universal patterns or cliches in all stories. Different types of heroes could include the warrior, the lover, or the scapegoat. Different types of journeys could include the quest for identity, quest for love, quest to find the promised land, or for vengeance. Different stages of the journey could include the departure, the initiation, the learning, the test of those learned skills, and then the reintegration with society. The characteristics of a journey include being naive, inexperienced, having a mentor, seeking out a lady, or having a band of loyal companions. This lens can be used in various situations, characters, symbols, actions, or themes in literature.
Examples of archetypal lens in Great Expectations. Pip is portrayed as a hero and a lover because of his love for Estella. He's portrayed in his quest for identity and becoming a gentleman, and his stages of journey by leaving home, going to London, and becoming a gentleman. The cliches of his journey involve being naive, going for love, having a rough past.